Hey guys, we have some good news, some excellent news, and some not so good news. So we'll start off, first of all, by saying, hey.
Hey y'all, we're Jimmy and Lisa, we'll FindUsCamping.
And today's another drive day, and we've been doing a lot more videos while we're on the road because they seem like they're a little easier for us to do. But we're going to start off real quick by the good news. The good news, guys, it's almost camping season. So a lot of the RV parks are opening them up, especially, south of Maryland area. Lisa's been finding out that some of them up north in Maine, Massachusetts, and all that, because she's working on our...
They don't even open till May.
Yeah, you're finishing up our crawl to get up there, finding out they're not even open yet. So we got some good news and we got some bad news we're going to talk about in this video. Like I said, that good news is...
Camping season's almost here.
Camping season's here, guys.
For those of you that aren't full-time, those weekend warriors and long weeks and maybe a month.
So it's time to get out and uncover that RV, do some of your pre-checks.
Some de-winterization.
Get that thing ready. All those things you were going to do this winter and you didn't get them done. It's time to get them done now.
Well, some of you may be a little further north and it still may be a little premature.
Yeah, because we're heading north now and the temperature is gone from 72 to 47 in one day drive. So yeah, we realize you guys are still cold.
47 is no bueno.
Yeah. So, I don't know, and I'll link it here, there, wherever it is. We talked about memberships, RV memberships, a couple videos, a couple months ago.
It's been a couple years ago.
Okay, a long time ago. So that tells you how long we've been on the road and trying to keep up with all this stuff. But we have learned some disturbing news and some different things, and
memberships are changing.
A lot, guys. So if you would have listened to me back in a year ago, 2 years ago, whenever we were talking about this video.
Well, you might shouldn't say it like that, because some of these people may not have been RVing back then. So if you weren't RVing and you're new, we're sorry because you didn't get in early enough.
So I try to tell everybody to buy lifetime memberships as quick as you possibly could. Get them while you were working, before you retired. That way when you retired, you were able to, be able to stop spending so much money. The really, really bad news is some of those lifetime memberships are no longer lifetime.
So I think it was last year, Passport America did away with lifetime memberships. I'm not saying that it won't come back in the future, but for now anyway, it's not something that's listed as available on their website.
So now if you didn't get in that $299 deal where you pay for 3 or 4 nights and you paid for that membership, you missed out, guys.
Right. So I think you can still do like a year and 3 years. And I think perhaps in the future it will come back. I just can't say that I know when that might happen, if at all. Harvest Host is another one that we do, and they still have memberships. I don't think they ever had a lifetime, but they've gotten more expensive.
They've gotten more expensive.
I mean, everything's gotten more expensive. Let's be real.
Yeah,
like just everything in general.
But they are adding more things to their membership. So here's one of the issues that I've been seeing. You can make my membership $250 a year, $300 a year. But if you're giving me things that I'm not going to use, it's not benefiting me.
Or you're not giving me anything in addition, like anything more than you once were, then it's not really worth it. Like a lot of these annual sites at different campgrounds, and I won't call any specific one out because I think it's kind of across the board, the cost to have a perm site or an annual site at some of these campgrounds has gone through the roof.
Yes. And
they've shortened the amount of days that you can spend. Like, okay, so in Virginia and further north, a lot of those campgrounds are closed during the winter. So that time that they're open has gotten shorter, but the cost of the site has gone up. So that's kind of, that's not cool. And I get it, like the cost of everything has gone up. I mean, eggs, for goodness gracious. And
since we've been looking at, for the crawl this year, Lisa's been calling a lot of different campgrounds, and she's noticed some of these campgrounds are just, you're talking 60, 80, 90 over $100 a night for a campground. And you know, I don't mind paying $100 a night.
I mind.
To get something in return. Like, there's a couple campgrounds that we've been looking at that have live music on the weekends. They have bands on the weekends.
Right. If it's a true resort campground. And I understand as well that when you get to some of these areas of the country, like, you know, when you're near parks like Glacier, when you're up in
Pigeon Forge, Massachusetts,
Acadia, like all these places that you're near these big state parks, or you're near the ocean, or you're near something that there's a draw, you're gonna pay more. But some of these places up near Acadia, a lot of these places don't have but maybe one or two large sites, like for a 45 foot RV. A lot of them don't have sewer hookups. They have a honey wagon or a dump station. Some of them don't even have that. And because they're in that area, they're still charging a premium price, which is kind of crazy. But if you want to go there and you want to see the things, you have to pay to stay at the places.
It's just funny because we used to talk about how inexpensive it was to RV, and now we're starting to see that the prices are just skyrocketing every single where you go. So
well, and I feel like there used to be more parks that offered like a Good Sam's discount, because that's a membership that we have, and I don't always keep it. I keep it if I'm going to be using it, right? So as I'm planning my year out, if I'm going to be going to a lot of parks that have that, I'll renew that membership for a year or 2 years. But those parks are fewer and farther between than they used to be. So it feels like it's getting a little more expensive for not even getting anything extra, which is kind of sad.
Because a lot of the times I just want to have a decent park, decent pay.
Yeah, like I don't need to go to a resort.
And go out and enjoy what's around the park. I don't want to be stuck inside that RV park all the time.
Right.
So
let's talk about the big one that we have, the big membership that we have.
The big membership that we have now is, of course, we are Thousand Trails members, and we've been Thousand Trails members for 17-ish years.
It's been a while.
And we paid a lot of money into Thousand Trails. So Thousand Trails used to have lifetime memberships where you spend $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a year,
$15,000 depending on the membership you bought.
Whatever the member thing is, that gave you more booking days, more booking time, longer booking windows, all that kind of stuff.
And the higher memberships came with more perks, right? So the more you paid for it, the further you could book out. You could get into some parks that the lower memberships couldn't get into, and that kind of thing. So it was kind of a you get what you pay for.
So now, guys, there's no more lifetime memberships on Thousand Trails.
So I'm not sure the breakdown on the cost, so I'm not going to get into that. I do know, I've heard rumors, so let me just say that, about these new memberships that they have are going to be, you can pay like we did for our lifetime membership, maybe not as much as we paid for ours, but it's lifetime. But they're only lasting 2 to 4 years, I think, is the thing. And
it's 2 or 4 years.
You pay a pretty hefty fee for each of those years. Now, with that being said, if you're going to use it, get your money's worth out of it, it probably, and I haven't mathed it, but it probably still will end up being, because I've always said this, I have a love-hate relationship with Thousand Trails, but dollar for what you get, I still felt like it was the best bargain out there.
But you got to do the math on it. We've done the math. Now that we're not in the Thousand Trails network as much as we used to be, you know, if these memberships are $4,000 for 2 years or 4 years, whatever the magic number is, you need to take that number and divide it by 360. Just do it by 365 days. That's if you're in the system every day, and it'll come up to $4, $5, $6 a night. That doesn't sound bad.
That's not bad.
But if you're only using it for 60 days a year,
right? So if you're planning your year out, though, this is kind of what I like to do. If I'm planning my year out, and let's say, okay, your membership cost you, you know, for simple math, we'll say $1,500, and I plan to stay 15 nights. Whew, that's $100 a night. Maybe that's a little steep.
It's not worth that.
But if I'm going to stay 30 days, now my price went down to 50 night, and then, you know, it gets incrementally smaller. So if you're going to stay in that system and you have some idea of how many days you're going to stay, I feel like as long as that price is less than what it would cost me to stay at a state park or a harvest host, then it's still a good deal, because most Thousand Trails parks do have full hookup sites.
Most.
Some state parks do, but some don't. And I think at home, the last time we stayed in a state park, it was $40 a night. And that's for water and electric. They do have a dump station, but if you're staying a couple of weeks and you've got that hassle of having to either go up to the dump station or drag your poop tank to the dump station or whatever, that's a hassle. Some harvest hosts have hookups. There's an extra charge for that, so now you're paying even more for that stay. So there are Thousand Trails parks that do not have sewer at all sites. Anyway, you just have to do the math. I'm not saying that because their membership has gone away, it's not still a good deal. Just depends on how you're going to use it as to whether or not it's going to be worth it for you.
So what I see, and this is just Jimmy talking, and Jimmy could be wrong, is for you guys and us that bought the big packages, the big memberships, I feel as a business owner, I feel they were starting to lose, Thousand Trails was losing money by people staying in the system 365 days, because we spent our $14,000, $13,000, whatever the magic number is, and once you stay in there a certain amount of days, then it starts getting to be $1 or $2 a day for you to stay in their park. They're not making any more money. So I think they needed to get away from the lifetime to make money. And what they're going to end up doing to us, and this is just me going out on a limb, and I don't know what the numbers are. We pay like $600 annual fee every year, and that number is allowed. They can never charge us any more for our membership, but the annual fee can go up every single year because there's no cap on the annual fee until you're 62, I think it is, and you get locked in. So unfortunately, Lisa's not close enough to that. So because she's the older one. We still have 8 more years, 7 more years, 8, 9 more years, whatever it is, to get locked in. So legally, I guess,
if our annual fee goes up a lot, then we're going to get,
then we start losing money.
Now, if one of us was already at 62, we could lock our annual dues at this point. I still think it would be awesome for us. We would be that perfect little niche that is really locked into the site.
So I hope I'm wrong, but what I see is they're gonna go up, 200 hours a year, 200 hours, 300 hours a year, whatever that magic number is, easily granted to move it up. The people that are already locked in because they're older,
they're there.
They're there, and there's not gonna. They're there, and once they go away. I'm not trying to be morbid, but once they go,
or maybe they just quit.
Stop
maybe
using
they come off the road, or they quit camping and they want to stay home, whatever.
So those will go. Ours is in that sweet spot that we'll move up, but it's still going to be expensive. But the people in the 20s and 30s and 40s years old,
without that lifetime package,
that thing is just going to jump up to the point where they got to get out. Now, also, you're not allowed to move, shift, or do anything to those packages unless you get rid of the membership you're in right now. So in order to get one of their new memberships, you got to drop what you have. You can't upgrade, you can't downgrade, you can't.
Yeah, that used to be the thing. If they came up with a bigger, better package, because we already had a lifetime, we could upgrade to the newest, bigger, better package. Now there's nowhere for us to go for an upgrade.
I don't think it's an upgrade if I have to pay every 4 years, 2 to 4 years. So.
I don't know. It's kind of sad.
But
it makes me nervous. I shouldn't say it's sad because I hope that you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too. But
and
also, if you get
but
these new packages that they're offering, there is no annual fee.
Right.
So that's a good thing.
So you're paying more per year, but there's no annual fee. Our annual fee is less than what you will pay, but you don't have a lifetime membership. So,
and don't get me wrong, as a business guy, I understand I got to make money.
Oh no, I get it. Everybody's got to make money, and there's no way with as many people as they have living in the system, Thousand Trails, the full-time RV families that are living in the system all year long. If anything, they're losing money over those people. My personal opinion, because if the rate ends up being $3, $4, even $10 a night, what are they making off that? They've got employees to pay, they got maintenance and upkeep on the parks, and And that's a whole nother rabbit hole we could go down. But
So a couple years ago, I said, get out quick. Start buying your memberships. Get those lifetime memberships. Get out there and enjoy RVing. But now, guys, if you don't have those, it's time to start
well, and hey,
thinking about it.
let's just be real. In the 15 years we've been there, or 16 or 17, it's been a lot. They've done a lot of upgrade packages. They've come out with a lot of new packages. So every couple of years, they're going to come out with a new package. So just because they've done this now doesn't mean that in 3 or 4 years, maybe not even that long, maybe they'll find it doesn't work and they'll do something else. But it's always changing, so it's ever changing, and there could be
life is ever
something
changing.
Really great down the road. And one of these packages might be a super fit for you. Like I'm saying, I don't know all the money ends of it just yet because we haven't dug deep into it. We do have a membership specialist that we recommend, and we'll put their information below, that if you think it's right for you, if you want to give them a call, I know they will help work numbers, and if you know how many days you're going to spend camping, you can decide if it's a fit.
So hopefully these videos are helping you guys out. If they're helping you out, please give us those thumbs up. YouTube wants us to get more and more thumbs up, engagement.
Thumbs up, click the bell
below.
So you get notified.
Make sure you subscribe, do all that stuff. Click the bell, ring, all that stuff. And it's getting ready to start pouring on us, so we got to pay attention to what we're doing. So,
well, and I want to put a quick plug in.
Almost got to be done.
Because in less than a month, we're going to start the 2025 crawl. And I'm not going to sign him up to do daily videos like we did last year, because it was a lot on him and he missed a lot of the group things that we were doing because he was editing. But if you want to see, we're going to leave Key West, Florida in April, and we're going to make our way up those East Coast states. We're not staying on the coast the whole time. And we're going to land in Fort Kent, Maine, which is mile marker 1 at the north end of Route 1. So we will go from 0 up to 1. And we'll be, video and documenting that trip. So if there's any part of that trip that you're interested in seeing, or if there's any part of that trip you're interested in joining us on, we're making multiple stops along the way.
Multiple.
And we will be posting those. So if you want to get, and we'll let you know how to come join us if you want to. It's not going to be a big camp out like we do. A couple of them are, but everyone won't be. But if you want to just come camp with the group and hang out and do what we do, we hope you'll join us.
So until you find us driving from milepost 0 to milepost 1,
safe travels, y'all.